Everyone has ideas for businesses, but the hard part is figuring out which ones are actually worth pursuing. Most people just chase whatever sounds exciting and end up failing at everything. So let me show you how I score opportunities to figure out what's worth my time. Forget those complicated MBA frameworks that take forever to fill out. We just need to look at 5 things that actually matter. First, market size. Is there enough money to be made here? Second, competition. Are you walking into a bloodbath or is there actually room for you? Third, time to revenue. How long until someone pays you? Fourth, resources. What's this really going to cost to build? And fifth, your edge. Why would anyone pick you over everyone else? We'll score each one from 1 to 5, where 1 is terrible and 5 is amazing. So for Xperience School, market size gets a 4 because the opportunity is definitely big enough. Competition gets a 3 because yeah, it's crowded, but there are clear gaps we can fill. Time to revenue is a 5 since people pay monthly right away. Resources needed, that's a 2 because creating good educational content takes tons of time and money. Our edge? I'd say that's a 4 because we really understand this problem since we've been through it ourselves. When you're scoring market size, don't use TAM because that's just fantasy numbers. Use your SAM, the people you can actually reach and sell to. If your SAM is under 100 million, that's tiny, so give it a 1. Between 100 and 500 million gets a 2. $500 million to $1 billion, now we're talking, that's a 3. 1 to 5 billion is a 4. And anything over 5 billion is your perfect 5. So an education platform with a $10 billion SAM gets a 5. But something super niche, like a local dog walking app with maybe 50 million SAM, that's barely a 1. The funny thing is, huge markets mean tons of competitors fighting over the same customers. Sometimes having a smaller market with less competition is actually better. Next, you need to look at who else is already doing this and honestly assess if you can compete with them. If there are 0 direct competitors, be really careful and score it a 2 because there might be a good reason nobody's doing this. 3 to 5 competitors is actually perfect, gets a 4 because the market is proven but not overcrowded. More than 10 competitors all fighting for the same customers? That's a 2 because you're probably too late. And don't forget about indirect competition. Like YouTube is probably Udemy's biggest competitor because people will always choose free tutorials over paying for courses. Also look at how much money your competitors have raised. If they've all got 50 million in funding and you're bootstrapping with your savings, you're playing a completely different game. Now be really honest about what you need to actually launch this thing. Do you need to build a platform? Hire designers? Create content? Get customer support? Add up all the real costs? If you can start for under 10K, score it a 5. But if you need over 100,000 just to launch, that's a 1. Then look at how long before you make your first dollar. Can you charge customers tomorrow? That's a 5. 6 months from now? That's a 2. A year or more? Score it a 1. Like if you're starting a consulting business, you can literally get paid tomorrow, so that's a 5. But if you're trying to build the next Instagram, you might never make money, so that's a 1. Here's the thing though, not all these factors matter equally, so you need to weight them based on what's important to you. I do market size times 0.2, competition times 0.3 because that's super important, time to revenue times 0.2, resources times 0.2, and your edge times 0.1. So for Xperience School, that's 4 times 0.2, which is 0.8, plus 3 times 0.3, which is 0.9, plus 5 times 0.2, which is 1, plus 2 times 0.2, which is 0.4, plus 4 times 0.1, which is 0.4. Add it all up and you get 3.5 out of 5. If your score is under 2.5, honestly just kill the idea. Over 3.5? Definitely worth doing. Between 2.5 and 3.5 is where most real opportunities are, and whether you do it depends on how much risk you can handle. Now it's time to score your own opportunity using these 5 dimensions. Weight them based on what matters to you, calculate your score, and then make a decision. Are you doing this or not? Let the numbers guide you. Not your emotions.